What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we highlight the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and today, as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes
What's up? What's up?
and LeVon Maynard.
What up?
What is going on? So, welcome to another week for this show. This week is very, very weird. So, a good mixture of things, I should say. So it's not all focused on just one like big cybersecurity attack. So please tune in throughout the week. Again, like, share, subscribe. If there's a bell involved, hit that as well to be reminded when we go and post our videos Monday through Friday. So without further ado, I'll give it to Shannon.
All right, everybody. So this article is from businessinsider.com by Tyler Sonamaker. And the title of it is, this is going to sound funny, right? Apple is eating our lunch. Google employees admit in lawsuit that the company made it nearly impossible for users to keep their location private. So in essence, what they're saying here, right, is that Google always had, well, let me say always had, but for a while they've had the opt-out option, right? When it came to, whether or not you want to be tracked or whatever, and this, that, and the third. And it turns out that has not been what has been advertised, has not been what is being done. And the reason for it is because their own employees weren't understanding how their infrastructure and how their environment was working when it came to those things. So like in this article, they talk about from different sections, like not understanding, hey, well, we need to do this, which interferes with this. And like, it's kind of a weird thing. There was some stuff in there. I was like, well, you guys, and when you read it, I'm like, was this done intentionally? Like, is there a mastermind up above all of them? There's like a puppet master. It's like, okay, we're going to turn this one against this one and this one against this one. We're going to tell them they opted out of all this stuff, but we're still going to get that data and get that information, right? Because Google is free, right? Like you just log in, do whatever, right? They show you your ads. That's how they make their money, right? They're not charging you to use their service. But yeah, so it was actually the Arizona Attorney General office last year, actually in 2020, which accused Google of illegally collecting location data from smartphone users even after they opted out. And again, like as you go through this article, it's different people that work for the company that are just like, man, like there are different ways for this to collect. Like we were doing it this way, but then it would collect this way, and it's like, again, I don't want to sit here. I don't want to sit here and accuse them of being duplicitous, right? Like, I'm not one to say that because I use Google, right? Like, I'm one of those that um, I use it on my phone, I use it on my laptop, but this is one of those things where, again, if you see something that tells you, hey, opt out of this or whatever, like you're taking the company at their word that they're doing what they need to do, and apparently that wasn't the case. You know what I mean? So. They actually have one in here. It was crazy. Let me find this again. When Google tested versions of its Android operating system that made privacy settings easier to find, users took advantage of them, which Google viewed as a problem, according to the documents. And I'm like, what? Like, are you telling me it's a problem that we took advantage of? Trying to opt out of privacy settings. And again, that's why I'm like, I don't know if someone at the top was really trying to make it purposefully confusing for their own employees even to try to get around this, or what was going on. You know what I'm saying? But LeVon, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it looks like it's a sticky situation. Google's like kind of like put themselves in here because obviously we want to be able to as users of these as these products of these products, we want to be able to control our data, control our information that's out there. Um, we know a lot of these big tech companies are making buku bucks off of our data. So if there's one less thing we can like try to keep private that kind of keeps you off the radar, keeps you out the net. I mean, it'd be nice if you can easily go into your phone and block some of this. But as you're describing, I was looking through the article, and I guess like you said, they have the variety of avenues to collect users' location data. Like they were using like people's Wi-Fi or even like third party apps that are not even affiliated with Google. So it's like you might have some random app on your phone. I don't know, some maybe Instagram or some other random application, and it's still like a piece of it is still providing information to Google about your location. And then uh, what else did they say here? let's see, forcing users to collect to share the data in order to use the apps. So yeah, they're kind of like forcing people to, if you wanted to use the app, you pretty much had to use like location, allow them to access your location. But and I think adding to that, I mean, they were talking about, people use Google Maps. I mean, Google Maps is a popular application to just get you where you need to be. But I think obviously Google needs to, make some adjustments, make sure that their services are easy to, the privacy settings are easy to find, easy to manipulate. Make sure that they're not like, buried deep in some like, uh, uh, deep in the settings where you have to search and you have to find some. You probably have to Google some articles to figure out how to turn off your location settings on your phone. But
that's how they
I
get
think,
you, right? You gotta use
yeah,
Google to find out how to not
right,
use Google.
yeah,
That's how
that's right.
They inception you like that. That's how they get you.
And as soon as you Google it, then they have your location from your browser. Like, hold on, hey, what's it?
Through your Wi-Fi.
Through the Wi-Fi. Like, what the hell? So, I mean, it's interesting. It's been a big thing. Besides Google, I mean, I think Facebook has been kind of susceptible to this as well, and some other corporations that have been trying to track users, because it's big business to have people's location. If you know where they're at a certain time, if they have like a certain store they like to go to, you can send them some nice ads about, oh, you went to this store, you went this area where there's a store, some a concert or some show that's happening in that area. Let's go ahead and send you some advertisements for that the opportunity, and then that way Google can get a slice of the cut if the person buys something from that location. But nonetheless, I mean, it's something that Google's gonna have to work on to make sure that they keep it on the front, keep it legit, or else they're gonna be getting hemmed up by the attorney generals. But do you have some thoughts on this as well, Ryan?
Yeah, sure. I think what got them is the transparency, right? So just tell the truth. Like, we fund our business by selling your data. Like, just say that. You know what I mean? Because people aren't going to opt out. Like, I'm still going to use Google Maps. Like, it's the only map. So, well, no, I'm not going to say that. I used to use Waze as well, but Waze sells your data as well. Like, that's the whole purpose. Like, if it's free,
Yeah.
then where are they getting their money from? From selling your stuff.
Right.
I think it's just the deceit it's what's hemming them up. And then like, that's the bad practice to hide stuff. Like, I think it was Amazon Sidewalk, where you had to like dig deep into the settings to finally cut it off. So I think that's disingenuous. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, they're selling your stuff. There's they're talking to one exec in the article, and he says it's almost impossible to hide your work and home data. Like, we know where you work at, we know where your home is at, unless you purposely tell us it's somewhere different. And that, I mean, that's beneficial to them. Like you said, it can map out your location. Maybe I offer you some Starbucks, or maybe
right.
I let you know that Popeye's chicken sandwich is back in stock or something. I don't know.
Right.
But like, that's how they do business. Yeah, they collect your data and then they sell stuff to you because advertisers want that data. The whole Apple eating our lunch part. So I guess it's because it makes it easier for you to turn these settings off.
Well, they present it right to you now, right? Like, there was that update,
right,
3 updates ago, where it was like, boom, they put it
right
right for you.
Yeah, but Apple makes their money off the premium services, I should say. Like, the services cost a little bit more, so you're paying Apple in that point. Like, in this case, you're not paying Google anything for their free services, quote unquote. So it's the deceit that's the problem. Like, just come right out and say, like, either we charge you $12 a person, or we share your data. And that's the button. You toggle one or the other. Pay me or shut up.
That's right.
But they, I mean, they got to hide it from people.
I think in today's climate, though, I think people are thinking more along the lines of the conspiratorial stuff, right? Like, I don't want to say conspiratorial, but along the lines of who are they going to give it to, right? So is Google going to cave as soon as the FBI comes to them and say they need something on somebody, right? This seems to be what people fear more than anything, right? Like, oh, I'm not doing anything wrong, but I don't want to put stuff out there. You know what I mean?
Like, everybody thinks they're a supervillain somehow.
Yeah.
Like, they're not looking for you.
But that's
true. You're not that special.
Yeah. That's the thing, though, right? So like, not everybody is like me, and is like, Patriot Act, find those terrorists, do what you got to do. You
Right.
know what I mean? But
Which,
That's right.
yeah, which is also counterintuitive. I think if there was more transparency to let people know, because again, I don't believe you should share all your stuff either, like because it could be used for nefarious reasons. Like someone else can hijack this data to determine where you're coming and going, and maybe set up like a tunnel, like the Roadrunner, paint a tunnel on the wall so you run into it. I don't know, but realistically, yeah, they need to make money. Like I'm not pro corporate, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, uh, if you want to use their services, you have to pay them, and you're paying them indirectly by giving them your data. So even if they had a EULA that had every single person they're going to sell it to, just 800 pages of these random companies, like all these people, including Acme, we're going to sell your data to all these people. People would still click through it because at the end of the day, like what else are you going to use? You have to use Google Maps. Like it is the best. There's, like I said, there's alternatives. You have Waze, which I believe is Israeli, which is crazy. And then you also have Apple Maps, but no one uses that. So no one uses Apple Maps.
Isn't Waze integrated in Apple Maps now though? I thought I read that.
It could be. It could be because they were one of the best. I think they had some of the best metrics. Like literally when I used it, it would tell me when there's a tire on the road. It'd be like, there's an accident in, like 7 seconds. And it was right there. I was like, yo, that's too good.
So like I say that because I started I recently switched over to Apple 3 months ago, 2.5 months ago, whenever it was. And just using the CarPlay, right? The Apple CarPlay, it was telling me stuff like that, like, hey, there's an accident here, this, that, and the third. And like it told me when I was coming up on a red light camera.
That was Waze used to do that. So they might be adapting Waze into their service or copying them, because Waze is really good. But again, you're given a foreign, like unless Waze has some subsidiary in the States or whatever, like I believe that to be an Israeli company. So you're given a foreign entity your traffic data. Like they know where you live at, they know where your work is at, they know where you stop at. All these things could be, you could have, conspiracy theorists like, oh, I don't want to do that, I don't want to share that, which is true. I mean, it could be used for nefarious things, but at the end of the day, they're just making money off of you. Like, and to breach that trust would cause them to not make as much money. So if anything, they're pandering to you as much as possible to make sure that they keep that mutual trust and they can keep selling your data for profit. So again, not pro corporation. However, either you pay them directly, you pay them indirectly. So in this case, Google is wrong because they're trying to hide it from you, and they're trying to make it almost impossible to not share your data. Like, go ahead and give me the off switch, but with that, charge me a fee. I think that would be amicable. So you basically would pay for like premium Google Maps. So like $5 a month. We won't share your data, but we still got to make money off of you.
So let me ask you this, just an opinion here. Do you think people would pay, or would they just be like, nah, I'm not going to pay it, just sell it? Like, do you think it's a matter of...
Oh, no. Yeah. They would say, they would just be like, okay.
Yeah.
It would be,
But it would be the same person that's upset about this. You know what I mean? It's like you're upset that you don't know, but you were going to opt into it anyway, right? So
yeah, like, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, because people are upset with Facebook, right? Like again, I use it for a very small population of people. Like I'm not everybody's friend. Like I don't have 2,000 friends on Facebook. But at the end of the day, I understand that they're selling whatever data they can get from me to the nth degree. But if I want to opt out and they charge me a fee, I will be like, no, you go ahead, share my data. I'm not going to pay you $12 a month for Facebook. It's not going to happen. I'd rather you share my stuff. So that catch that, what is it? It's not catch 22, but it's that you can't have your cake and eat it too. Yeah. You got to pick one. So I think a lot of these companies, like especially with Apple going the direction it's going, a lot of these companies are going to start asking for money. You will be paying like $1 a month for Facebook or to use Google Maps or whatever, because they're going to start to lose money from the millions of iPhones out there, because a lot of people are going to start opting out. But then they're going to realize that, opting out means I have to pay you. So what do you do with that?
Yeah. And I wanted to add to, as you guys were mentioning, Waze. I don't know if you guys remember this, but actually Google bought bought Waze back in 2013. So
Mm.
they so any kind of information you get to Waze, Google has that too. They have
This is how they
can't-
do it.
You
This
can't
is
get away
how they
from
do
them.
it. Yeah.
You can't get away.
can't get away. They own that,
Can't get away.
and that's why you see some
So-
of the Waze features. I think you see it in Google Maps. You might see some
Okay,
like traffic notifications if there's like an accident or something coming up.
got you.
Because you can share. You can you can publicly. It's like you socially provide like information. If you see a cop in a corner, you see some like cop with a laser gun or whatever. You can put it in the map, a little spot right there. Show up on your Google Maps. So they own that.
That was
That
another
business
thing I
system.
saw. That was another thing I saw pop up
Yeah.
too. That was another thing I
Yeah.
saw. So I did not realize that. Like I didn't realize that Google bought Waze. You said back in 2013?
Yeah, 2013. I remember seeing a story about it back in the day, but I haven't thought about it in
Yeah.
a while. But yeah, June
That's hilarious.
2013. Yeah.
And they don't share the information because they're like, okay, like we're the bad guys. Use them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
They're me.
That's right. They try to keep a hush, so you don't realize.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
use the other one.
Yeah, or learn how to use a real life map.
That's right. Pull out the map like back in the old days, or print it from MapQuest.
Yeah.
Right. The turn by turns.
Take my turn.
I can guarantee you if I go grab an atlas, you remember the big atlases and whatnot that had all the stuff?
Yeah.
I go grab one of those and sit it in front of, I don't know, maybe my oldest might be okay, but like my oldest son, who's 18, I can guarantee you he probably wouldn't know what to do with it. I can guarantee.
Right.
But
Most
it's like,
people do. I didn't.
it's like cursive, like with cursive for him.
Yeah.
Like I think I think he might have had like half a year on cursive and then they just stopped teaching it in school. Like he
Oh wow.
crazy to say, like he does not know cursive. You know what I mean? Because they just
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard a lot of kids
bringing
like
it
that.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Like
Yeah.
I don't know why I got rid of it. It's like,
Suffer
I need
like
to practice my
suffer like we did.
Yeah, that's
Like
right.
it doesn't even look like a Z. Well, how do you get Z out of that? I don't know.
That's right.
yeah.
I know I haven't used cursive in a long time. I got to practice. Got to get my skills back up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a whole different conversation. Like I say, I don't know why they would ever remove that. But when it comes to the map, before I got here, I worked with the Army for 5 years. So they had to teach me how to read a map, shoot an azimuth, all that stuff. It was excruciatingly painful. And I got lost so many times. So like, would I pay Google? Yes. Will I just opt to let them share my stuff? Yes. Because the alternative is rough.
Right.
So,
Yeah, it's
It
a
is what
quote
it
unquote
is.
free service, so they got to get something out of it, or else they're
Right.
going to shut down shop. They're gonna be like, "Oh, it's not worth it. We're not getting anything out of it."
Right, exactly. So, but I think that pretty much does it for this episode. I forgot my exit. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, LeVon. Please continue to tune in, like, share, subscribe. Like hit that bell for notifications, or whatever gets you to see an episode drop every day of every week. Almost, we don't do weekends, so Monday through Friday every week we have episodes. So because I hear a lot of people like, yeah, I saw your show, when do you do the next one? Well, please like, share, subscribe, and then you'll see they drop every single day. But with that being said, you can hit us up at the website, www.theothersideofthefirewall.com, where you can get to our social medias, which are in the description. And then you can hit me up personally at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy on Clubhouse, LinkedIn, Twitter, and IG. And LeVon,
Hit me up on the Twitter. It's at LeVon Maynard.
there it is. Stay safe, stay secure.
Peace.